They told you retirement was the finish line. They told you it was time to slow down, to step back, to finally rest. But what if everything you were told about retirement was completely wrong? What if the most powerful, the most meaningful, and the most transformative chapter of your entire life is not behind you, but starting right now, today, this very morning? Welcome to Life After 60, where we talk about real stories, real changes, and the things that truly matter to living your best life after retirement. Before we dive in, I want you to close your eyes for just a moment and think about the last time you woke up in the morning feeling genuinely excited. Not just comfortable, not just okay, but truly alive, purposeful, and ready for the day. If that feeling feels like a distant memory, or if you are not sure you have ever really felt it, then what I am about to share with you could change everything. Because the 5 habits we are talking about today are not tips from a magazine. They are not generic advice you have heard 100 times. They are the real, quiet, daily practices that separate the people who thrive in retirement from those who simply survive it. Let me start with a story. A man I will call Robert retired at 67 after 35 years working as an accountant. He had planned for retirement financially. He had saved diligently, paid off his house, and done everything right on paper. But 6 months after his last day at work, his wife noticed something changing in him. He was sleeping later. He was watching more television than he ever had in his life. He stopped calling old friends. He sat in his favorite armchair and stared at the wall more than he cared to admit. Robert was not sick. He was not depressed in a clinical sense. He was simply lost. The structure that had defined 40 years of his life had vanished overnight, and nothing had come to replace it. He told his wife one evening quietly and with a kind of sadness that surprised even him, that he felt invisible. Robert's story is not unusual. In fact, it is one of the most common experiences among newly retired people, and it is one that nobody warns you about when they hand you that retirement card and slice of cake on your last day. But here is what happened next, and this is the part that matters. Robert's neighbor, a 72-year-old woman named Eleanor, noticed the change in him, and one afternoon she knocked on his door and said something very simple. She said, "Come for a walk with me." That walk became a daily habit, and that daily habit became the thread that slowly pulled Robert back to himself. Within a year, Robert had built 4 more habits around that daily walk, and the man who had felt invisible was now the most engaged, energized, and genuinely happy version of himself he had ever been. Today I am going to share those 5 habits with you, the same 5 that transformed Robert's retirement, and that can transform yours. The first habit is a morning walk, and I do not mean a stroll around the block while looking at your phone. I mean a deliberate, consistent, daily walk that you treat with the same seriousness you once gave your morning commute. Research consistently shows that walking for just 30 minutes a day has profound effects on the brain, on mood, on cardiovascular health, and on cognitive function as we age. But beyond the physical benefits, which are enormous on their own, a daily morning walk gives you something that retirement can quietly steal away from you: a sense of beginning. Every single day starts with intention. Every single day you make a choice to move your body and engage with the world. That sounds simple. But for someone who has lost the built-in structure of working life, that simple act is genuinely revolutionary. Walk the same route sometimes, and change it often. Notice things. The way the light hits a building, the sound of birds in a particular tree, the familiar face of another early walker. The world is extraordinarily rich when you slow down enough to actually see it. The second habit is learning something new every single day, and I mean something that genuinely challenges you. Not crossword puzzles, though those are fine. Not trivia games on your phone, though those can be fun. I mean something that makes your brain reach in a direction it has not reached before. A language, a musical instrument, watercolor painting, woodworking, the history of ancient Rome, computer programming, the science of the universe. When Robert's neighbor Eleanor was not walking with him, she was teaching herself Italian on a free language app for 20 minutes each morning. She had no plans to visit Italy. She simply wanted to feel the pleasure of learning. And that pleasure, that particular joy of discovering that your mind is still capable of growing and absorbing and surprising you, is one of the most potent antidotes to the invisible sadness that retirement can sometimes bring. The brain, scientists tell us, maintains its ability to form new connections and pathways throughout our entire lives. But it only does so when we challenge it. Give your brain a reason to grow, and it will grow. The third habit is connection. And I want to be very direct with you about this one because it is the habit that people most often skip, and it is the one that matters most. After retirement, social connection does not happen automatically the way it did when you were working. You have to choose it. You have to create it. You have to protect it. Studies on longevity, studies that have followed thousands of people over decades, consistently find that the quality of a person's relationships is the single most powerful predictor of how long they live and how happy they are. Not their diet, not their exercise routine, their relationships. So call someone today, not a text, a call. Visit a friend this week. Join a club, a group, a class, a volunteer organization, a community garden, a book club, a church group. Anything that puts you in regular, repeated contact with other human beings who share something with you. Robert started volunteering at his local library 2 afternoons a week. He helped elderly visitors navigate the computer system. He was not there for the computers. He was there for the conversation, for the laughter, for the feeling of being needed, and of mattering to someone else's day. That feeling is irreplaceable. The fourth habit is a creative practice. And please do not dismiss this one by saying you are not a creative person, because that is simply not true. Every human being is creative. Every person has the capacity to make something, to express something, to bring something into the world that did not exist before. The question is not whether you are creative. The question is whether you have given yourself permission to be. In retirement, for perhaps the first time in your adult life, you have time. Real, unscheduled, genuinely free time. Use some of it to make something. Write in a journal. Paint a picture that you will never show anyone. Plant a garden and watch it grow. Cook a new recipe from scratch. Knit a blanket for a grandchild. Build a birdhouse in the garage. The act of creating, the process of taking raw materials, whether they are words or seeds or wood or paint, and shaping them into something meaningful, does something profound to the human spirit. It reminds you that you are not finished, that you still have something to give, that your hands and your mind and your imagination are still very much alive. The fifth and final habit is reflection, and this is the one that ties everything together. Every evening before you go to sleep, take 10 minutes to sit quietly without a screen, without background noise, without distraction, and simply think about your day. What did you notice? What made you smile? What are you grateful for? What do you want to do differently tomorrow? This is not about writing a formal diary, though you can if you wish. It is simply about being present to your own life, about not letting the days blur together into an undifferentiated stream of time passing. The people who thrive in retirement are the people who live each day with awareness, who notice the texture and color of their own experience, and who carry a quiet but firm sense of gratitude for the life they have built, and the life that still stretches ahead of them. Robert still walks every morning. He is learning to play the ukulele badly and joyfully. He volunteers at the library twice a week. He grows tomatoes in his back garden. And every night before he sleeps, he writes 3 sentences in a small notebook on his bedside table. 3 things he noticed. 3 things he is grateful for. 3 reasons tomorrow is worth waking up for. He is 71 years old, and he will tell anyone who asks that he has never felt more fully himself in his entire life. Retirement is not the finish line. It is the starting line of something extraordinary. And you are standing on it right now. If this video spoke to you today, if it gave you even one thought you want to carry into tomorrow morning, please give it a like and share it with someone you love who might need to hear it. Drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 habits you are going to start first, because I read every single comment and your answer genuinely matters to me. This community is built on real people having real conversations about real life, and if you are not yet part of it, subscribing takes 1 second and means you will never miss something that could change your day. You have worked hard to get here. Now let us make sure every single day ahead of you counts.